Welcome back to my channel, guys. So today I'll be talking about Premier League match week 33 preview and prediction. So we also got some bad news last week, but then hopefully now there are good news because the European Super League is most likely to be called off. But still there are a lot of things happening and it is not a confirmation, but I hope it doesn't happen. And yeah, so without any further ado, let's get to our predictions. Arsenal versus Everton. To be honest, it is a good game, but I'm not sure what to expect in this game because Arsenal are now 7 points behind Tottenham, basically behind top 6, and Everton, they're 4 points behind Tottenham. So I think this is kind of an important game, and I think if Arsenal want to finish top 6, I think it is their last opportunity. I think if they don't get 3 points out of this game, I think they're in trouble, and finishing top 6 for this season hopes will be very, very low. On the other hand, Everton, to be honest, this team recently they're not really performing well. If you look at the last 6 games, they only got 3 points, including a 2-2 draw over Tottenham. So I don't know what to expect from both of these teams because they can be very unpredictable. For example, Arsenal, they were playing some decent football, but then suddenly against Fulham, they didn't perform well and they got a draw. And I think they do deserve that draw because they did play well. But to be honest, if you want to be a good team, you have to be clinical, and Arsenal were not clinical in that game. So I think it's going to be a good game to watch. But from a prediction, I think draw is a fair enough call because both of these teams are not really performing well, and I don't know what to expect from their form line. So therefore, I think a draw is a fair enough call. I'm going to go for Arsenal 1, Everton 1. Liverpool versus Newcastle. Liverpool, to be honest, I think they will be looking to finish top 4 as well because they have some decent momentum, but still they got a lot of grounds to make up because they are now 2 points behind Chelsea. But then they were lucky enough that Chelsea got a draw against Brighton and West Ham lost against Newcastle. So I think Liverpool will be a very happier team, and I think finishing top 4 hopes is rising once again. On the other hand, Newcastle, to be honest, I think their main target is done, which is to survive from the relegation. And I think for now they already survived because they are already way ahead of Fulham, and I think they are now preparing for the next season. It is going to be a good game to watch. I think Newcastle will try to give a good fight because recently they've been performing well. If you look at the last 7 games, they only lost once, and it was against Brighton. Other than that, this team is playing some decent football. So therefore, I think they're heading to a right direction, and I think they will be expecting a good fight against Liverpool. But then, to be honest, I think Liverpool, they got a lot to play for, and I think Liverpool should be good enough to win this game. It is going to be a tight one because if you look at Liverpool form line, they're not playing at the best, and once again, home record this year is not good. So I think Newcastle can be expecting a big result, for example, a victory or a draw. But then I think Liverpool will just get the job done because they have to, and it is a very important game. If they want to finish top 4, they have to win this game. So therefore, I'm going to go for Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0. Chelsea versus West Ham. I think it is a very, very important game, and I think for top 4 race, this game is the most important game because West Ham are 5th at the moment and Chelsea are 4th. So the difference between these two teams is a goal difference. So therefore, I think both of these teams will be looking for a victory. West Ham, to be honest, I think they've been playing some decent football, but then recently they got a lot of injury issue. Antonio's missing, Royce is missing, Lingard, he's gonna miss out this game as well if I'm not wrong. And then Dawson is suspended. So like these are one of their main players and they are injured. So I think it's going to be big loss for them. On the other hand, Chelsea, they are fit. But once again, this team is not reliable because they can lose points in these kind of games. So I think they have to win this game and get the top 4 hopes alive. And well, it is well and truly alive recently, but then like they have to get this victory if they want to finish top 4. It is going to be a good game to watch. If there was no injury issue for West Ham, I think I would have gone for West Ham to win this game, but then they just have way too many injuries, and I'm worried about that because the injured players are actually their main players. So therefore, I'm going to go for Chelsea to win this game. It's going to be a tight one. West Ham will give a great fight, but I think at the end of the day, Chelsea will be a little bit too good. Even though Chelsea, they're not that clinical this season, especially recently. So I think that can give West Ham a little bit of hope because West Ham, they are actually a clinical team. They know how to score goals. If you look at the last 4 games, they actually score 11 goals, and it is not that bad. It is actually really good. And compared to Chelsea, if you look at the last 5 games, they scored 7 goals. So therefore, I think in terms of attack, West Ham might be a little bit more clinical, and I think we can expect some goals. But then I think at the end of the day, Chelsea might be a little bit too good. So therefore, I'm gonna go for Chelsea 2, West Ham 1. Sheffield United versus Brighton. To be honest, it is not a big game anymore because Sheffield United, we all know they are well and truly relegated, and they're preparing for next season. On the other hand, Brighton, to be honest, they don't have a lot to play for anymore, but then still I think they will be looking for a victory because they should, I think, maybe try to finish top 15 if they can, because this season they've been playing some decent football, but then the result was against them. So I think they should be looking for a victory over here. Sheffield United, on the other hand, I think against Wolves they were not that bad. They were actually creating some good chances, but they were not clinical enough, and I think that's why they lost the game. But to be honest, it was a good performance from them, and I think maybe they were actually the best team compared to Wolves in that game. But then, like, once again, the result was against them. On the other hand, Brighton, to be honest, if you look at the last 2 games, they drew against Everton and Chelsea. It was a 0-0 draw. So I think this team recently is becoming a little bit boring. But then if you look at the team they were playing against is Everton and Chelsea. So I think getting a draw out of those games is actually fair enough. So therefore, I think they will be looking for a victory over here. It's going to be difficult because once again, Brighton is not really scoring goals. If you look at the last 5 games, they scored 7 goals, but then if you look at the last 3 games, they only scored 1 goal. So I think it is going to be a low scoring game. Sheffield United will have some chances, but then I think Brighton might just find a way through, and I think Brighton will win this game. I'm going to go for Brighton 1, Sheffield United 0. Wolves versus Burnley. It is another very important game, and I think Burnley will be looking for a victory, even though I think the relegation threats are most likely to be over if West Brom don't get a victory against Leicester. But still, I think Burnley will be looking for a victory because they will also want to finish around top 15 and get a little bit more prize money instead of finishing 17 or 16. Wolves, to be honest, on the other hand, they've been playing some decent football recently. They're showing a lot of fights. If you look at the last 5 games, they got 7 points, and including a defeat against Liverpool and West Ham. Other than that, I think this team is playing some decent football. They got 2 wins in a row against Fulham and Sheffield United. So I think they'll be looking for a victory over here as well. But then Burnley, to be honest, I think they've been playing some 50-50 football. I'm not gonna say they're at their best, but then still, like, they are showing some good fight. They're scoring some early goal or the equalizer, but then after that they do fall apart a little bit. So I think if Burnley do stay awake, they can actually get a decent result out of this game. But then I think Wolves will be looking for a victory over here. I think Wolves will really try to finish somewhere near top 10 or even in top 10. It's going to be difficult, but then I think Wolves will try their best. So therefore, I'm going to go for Wolves 1, Burnley 0. Leeds United versus Manchester United. To be honest, it is going to be a really good game to watch because Leeds United recently, they've been playing some decent football. And I remember I did mention in my previous video that this team is actually becoming more balanced type of a team, because at first they were actually a really attacking team, and then they were like falling apart. They were losing way too many points. But then now defensively they're performing well. In terms of attack, they're performing well. So now they are more like a balanced team, and I think they want to stay in Premier League and maybe even finish top 10 few seasons in a row if they can. And I think it is going to be a big achievement for them, or even finish around European spot or something like that. So I think Leeds United will be expecting a good game over here, because Manchester United, we all know that they are a good team, but then this team can be sloppy. But then if you look at the last 5 games, they've been performing well. They're winning all of those games. But then once again, Leeds United, I think they are a team that can change everything around, because they are a very strange team and they're a very good team, and they are very clinical and they know how to win games. Because we saw against Manchester City, they were a man down and still they were able to win 2-1. So therefore, I think this team know how to win games, and I think they are one of those teams that can actually beat Manchester United. It is going to be a good game to watch. I think both of these teams will actually go for a victory over here. Manchester United will want to finish in a decent spot. I know getting champions is going to be difficult now, or it's getting impossible, but then I'm sure Manchester United will want to go closer to Manchester City. On the other hand, Leeds United, I think they will be also trying to finish top 8 maybe if they can. I know it's going to be a little bit difficult. They got a lot of work to do, but I think their first goal should be finishing above Arsenal. And if they can do that, I think this is going to be a really decent achievement for them. So from a prediction, it's going to be a good game. Leeds United is one of those teams that can actually beat big teams. So therefore, I'm going to go for Leeds 1, Manchester United 1. Aston Villa versus West Brom. To be honest, it is a very important game for Aston Villa, because if they want to finish top 10, they'll have to win this kind of games, and I think they should be good enough to win this game because West Brom, we all know that they suffered a 3-0 defeat against Leicester. So therefore I think Aston Villa will be looking to get 3 points over here. On the other hand, West Brom, unfortunately, I think their Premier League journey has come to an end because their last opportunity was against Leicester. If they won that game, I think there was some hope, but I think now it's gone and they will be heading back to Championship. So therefore, I think West Brom, in terms of motivational, I think they won't be that motivated. So I think there will be a little bit lack of class, and I think a little bit lack of motivation. So therefore, I think that is going to benefit Aston Villa. So therefore, I'm going to go for Aston Villa to West Brom 0. So the last game is Crystal Palace versus Leicester. In terms of head-to-head, these two teams are very, very well matched because they are really, really good teams when it comes to playing against each other, and it is really unpredictable. But then I think over here, Leicester City are going to benefit themselves to win this game because they've been performing well recently, and I think they need this victory because if they want to finish top 4, they'll have to win this game and put some pressure on West Ham, Chelsea, Liverpool, and the teams who are chasing them. So therefore, I think Leicester City will be going for the victory over here. On the other hand, Crystal Palace, to be honest, recently, they've been performing well as well. So therefore, I think it's going to be a really, really good game to watch. But then I think at the end of the day, Leicester City might be a little bit too good because they need this victory. And against West Brom, they were very, very well drilled. Second half, yes, they were a little bit lack of energy, but I think because they were 3-0 up, that's why they were a little bit lack of energy. So therefore, I think they're going to go for the victory over here as well. I'm going to go for Leicester 3, West Crystal Palace 1. So that's the end for my Premier League Match Week 33 preview and prediction. So if you guys did enjoy my video, please give a big thumbs up and I'll see you guys soon.